This is why I always start first. You don't want to start first because you don't.
I can start first. I just thought you like it so much.
Well, because I always have to think of words to say because I don't have a script. I'm going by flying off the handle here. Hello, welcome back to Indie Film Screenings. I'm Jerome Lee Brown, your host, and standing beside me is my good friend and co-host,
Stefan J. Davis, also known as Stephen Davis, for those that want to know. Because a lot of times people are like, which one do you go by? I go by both, actually. At my, I teach media as well. And so there's another guy that works there. His name is Stefan.
Okay.
So everybody's all like, which one, who? Everybody's all confused. So they just call me Stephen. I've been going by that for years as well. So
okay. All right, Mr. Steph.
A little known hidden a little fact there. Just throw that stuff out there sometimes for the folks.
And you can just call me J. Rome. That doesn't matter. Just don't call me late for dinner.
Like J. Rome, right? It's like
J.
something
Rome, like that.
When did you start doing that anyway? Because I know it was Jerome, of course, obviously. And then you decided to get unique and fancy with it. And just...
Well, I did that because Jerome Brown was such a poor, boring name. And, there's thousands of Jerome Browns out there. So I kind of
I think it's 4,612 last time I checked. I do Google searches all the time. And just
you're probably
stuff.
right then. That's just in my own local neighborhood. So I went with J. Rome, period. J. Rome, Lee Brown, and I kind of figured aren't too many of us out there, so this will be easy for people to remember. And then
sometimes it's fancy too, though. It's kind of cool, J. Rome, J. Dot. J. Period.
You won't forget it, that's for sure. A name like that, how could you forget it? But anyway, getting back to track, as you got me on track again.
Name tangent.
Yeah. All right, Mr. Steph and Mr. J. Rome. Like I was saying, welcome back and thank you once again for all the shows you've been watching with us and everything. And we thank you for the tweets and Facebooks and Twitters and so forth. Now, with all that being said, before I go back into a tongue twister, Mr. Stefan is going to fill you in what's going on with the shows coming up.
Okay, so today we got a great show, a great movie. This movie is called Acquitted. A local filmmaker actually lives in our area.
Oh, does he? I didn't know that.
Yeah, we've worked with him in the past on a couple things and stuff. A great guy, really. Keith Collins. Yeah. So this is his film called Acquitted. It's really cool. We checked it out. I enjoyed it, especially because I'm really big into, I wouldn't say like Black Power, but I'm definitely aware of what's going on with Black Lives Matter and things of that nature. Yeah, and I think there's a little bit in there for that. There's been a lot going on in the news, of course, about police shootings and all those kind of things. And so I'm always kind of watching that and staying aware of that. And just have that understanding of the plight for the Black man. So to speak, the Black man,
Okay. All right.
And so some of that was there for sure. But other than that, though, I thought it was great because it was like almost like a horror kind of twist to it.
Yeah, I kind of got confused about that because when I was watching it, I thought it was about a trigger happy cop.
Yeah.
But then it turned out to be a trigger happy cop with a conscience. Then it turned out to be a trigger happy cop with a conscience that had demons after him.
Something going on.
Yeah, so I'm like, he had a lot of issues going on with this shooting that took place.
Well, it kind of reminds me of Get Out a little bit because Get Out had that theme of recognizing the social awareness of blacks and whites and kind of our culture and what's going on and stuff, but then also had that horror theme as well going on. So this one reminds me of the same thing where it kind of talks about and pulls on those strings of being aware of what's going on in society when it comes to these issues with police brutality, police shootings, the Black and white, and so forth. But then also tying in some of that scariness, a little bit of that horror kind of spin and twist to it.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. And a few things about the film that I thought was pretty good, where his partner pretty much didn't like a lot of things he was doing and portraying about this whole shooting incident. And of course, like any other cop, if you shoot somebody, you're going to take some time off. And I guess he got some time off on there. And that's when all his demons started coming out. And try not to give away too much of the plot of the film, because I really want you guys to check it out for yourself and everything. But it did have some nice twists behind it. It has some open eyes make you stop and think about how a cop goes through these issues when they do shoot a person. But at the same time, here comes the monsters from out of the closet that comes back to get them. Now, I don't understand. I want to just be honest. I didn't understand what they were, why they were coming, what they were all about. Were they conscious that was eating him alive?
It seemed to be like
I got that
inner
impression.
demons, possibly.
Yeah.
But then, like the souls of the people who he's killed, though. So I kind of saw.
But they didn't mention that he killed a lot of souls. Just mentioned that one particular.
But it showed that, but he might have had a history of just going around killing folks, though. Like you say, you seem to be trigger happy. I mean, in the beginning, he shot that person so fast. I mean, he couldn't care less, really. Well, maybe he looked like he kind of cared a little bit. He's like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have did that. But it looks like
cop shooting somebody and not.
So yeah, he shot the guy. You know, he reached for the wallet, and it reminded me, of course, of the Philandro Castile, which is a true story that really took place. And the guy had a concealed carry weapon, and you know he's reaching for.
But he had
his wallet.
license to carry, though.
Yeah, so same thing with this story. You know, he had the license. He didn't have the gun on him, as he said, but he has a license to let the person know. And even though just by mentioning that sometimes can be enough to a cop to get a little sensitive.
Anytime you reach for something and the cop says show your hands and you don't show your hands and you're still reaching for something,
that could be.
Cop's not going to wait to see what you're going to pull out. They
That could be an issue.
Fire on you.
Now the problem though is that if the cop says, you know, pull out your wallet, let me see your ID. So you're reaching for your ID, and they say, wait, put your hands up. That's the issue there. Yeah. But no, I definitely get what you're saying because you know some of the other things I do is I sit and volunteer. I do some work in the city a little city worse than our regular city. It's pretty rough area, and they have these things where they sit down with people and talk about police and the law and how we can work better in the community with the police and all that kind of stuff. So I definitely do agree with what you're saying. Like there's certain things that you can avoid a lot of trouble in situations if you're careful about how you interact with the police. So when I go to those sessions and volunteer and stuff and see the guys, a lot of people that are there, they're there because they've had some kind of interaction with the law that was not proper.
Yeah,
and so we go and we talk and have these discussions and stuff. And so what you're saying is right. You know, sometimes you can avoid it just by being smart and thinking first and kind of things like that. But
don't move too swiftly.
Yeah, you don't want to be too.
Well, I do have a gun back here. Let me show you that.
But sometimes cops can be a little aggressive. They got that mentality. You know, maybe some stress going on, whatever. You know, because the other guy that got beat pretty bad, I think this was in Euclid. He, when you see the video, it looks like the cop just decided he wanted to rough him up. He took him, threw him down, just started punching at him and stuff, and hitting him and things. And the cop did, get in a lot of trouble. I think he got fired and all that kind of stuff. But sometimes
I understand the cop side, and I understand the pedestrian side, and I understand both sides of the coin. Both sides of the coin is, and we're going to get back to the film clip in a second. But both sides of the coin is, I understand that the cops deal with bad people all day and every day, shooting and chasings and so forth. I get that and I understand that. And I understand that you want to go home to your family just as well as the next person does. And I understand somebody reach in their pocket, want to pull something out, you can't sit and wait and see what it's going to be. And that's kind of what this film is portraying with the trigger-happy cop. Now, justify it in your own way, in your own words. Was it justifiable for him to do what he did, or was it wrong for the guy to reach for something real quick? That'd be something you would have to
when you
determine
watch the
in
movie,
film.
you can determine that. So I'm thinking about all these different situations that happened. This other guy was on a bike and he tried to get ready to run from the cop, and the cop shot him because he tried to run. Once again, like that was a cop being worse in their job than they should have been because that person didn't have to lose their life because they tried to run.
Anytime a cop shoots you in the back, that's just period.
So there's other times where like it's justified because there was a situation, but it's just it's tough. It's just nice when we don't have to deal with these issues, but unfortunately we do. But more importantly, the movie though, really want to make sure that you guys check this out because I think you can gain a lot of insight and wisdom from it when you check it out there. Makes you kind of think about what is going on in the world these days. And also it's a really great movie. I think one of the parts I really enjoyed the most probably was towards the end when they're both looking down at him. You know, he was chewing the little Cheez-Its and things.
That's farther into the film, but
So I'd say that's my favorite part of the movie, though, for sure.
I will say they did a great job on the special effects on that scene.
It was a quick shot. And so when you think about as a filmmaker, we make these films. It's like all these little things going, all these details, creating a shot for like a 5-second shot. You know?
Yeah.
So
well, it was a quick shot, but it was nice.
Like the way he was set, the way he looked at things, like that probably took a long time to put together. And even if you do it like in After Effects or like special effects in post, it still takes so much long to create these different situations. Yeah. But it might be on screen for maybe 3 seconds though. So it's like
this was on screen for maybe 10 seconds.
At the most. I don't even think it was that long.
Yeah, well, you're right. You're right. I think you count to maybe 5, it's gone. But it was a great effect, and I liked it, and so quick, and it came and left so fast. So it was pretty decent.
The life of a filmmaker, though, you gotta.
Yeah, and I like the special effects of the monsters and creatures and the long finger, people there.
That was really great.
They had a nice touch to the film.
So going back to my favorite shot, which is towards the end of the film, like you said, another thing that made it so great, besides the great, special effects, the visual effects that were actually put on the person, was like the humor of them eating the Cheez-Its and then kind of looking over his body, that angle. Yeah, like the angle was great. He drops it. And I thought it was great because he gave a reason to cut to that shot. Yeah. Like, it's one of those things like why, thinking about why you go to certain cuts and why you do certain things and stuff. And so like using that cheese that he drops next to the dead body as that cut to that shot as he picks it up, I thought was excellent.
In all the years I've been doing this, I ain't never seen nothing like this.
Yeah, that was a pretty interesting shot with the camera shooting up and they're looking down into it, and they show you what they were looking at, like you mentioned, and everything. But as it got closer to the end of the film, no spoiler alerts here, but as it was getting closer to the end of the film, we saw more of them, and they were coming out more, and you were seeing a lot more of the weird-looking creatures that seemed to haunt him, and that kind of turned more into a whole different spin of the film altogether, in my opinion. I think it went from a bad cop or from a trigger-happy cop to just a straight-out, horror film. Because they would just come from all over the place, out the closet, over the couch, over the chair, coming out around the corner,
pretty spooky, yeah.
So yeah, they were really spooking them out, but it made a good
like
special
Thriller though. When you think about Thriller, the Magic Johnson.
Magic Johnson did a film called Thriller. I know Michael Jackson did one.
Michael Jackson. There's a lot of Michaels and Jacksons.
Watch, he's going to cut that part out.
Jordans. Michael Jordan, Mike Tyson and things. It's, no, we can keep it in. But, Thriller.
Yeah, I understand.
Music video.
Yeah, you kind of did kind of remind me of that. Yeah, you're right about
it's kind of like where it starts off kind of normal. Yeah, next thing you know, they're running around like,
did what?
All crazy like that. So,
what is that, Beavers?
You don't remember that little move they were doing?
Oh, I remember the dance, but not like Beavers. What are these, long teeth of Beavers? You mean a little zombies that would dance down the street?
Demonstrate how it's supposed to
be. Oh, okay.
How they did it then.
Little beavers dancing around the street.
No, I'm saying do this like it's supposed to be done.
I don't know.
Exactly. Yes.
I think he had to.
And then they had that little shake like that. Remember they doing like the little. You remember that?
I remember the video, but I don't remember your version of it.
Those little slides.
Okay. Well, apparently.
I mean, if I get up, then I can really, get into a little more.
Well, we got plenty of room here. You move the lights and cameras back.
I want to keep this about the filmmakers and the movies and things. I don't want it to be.
We're going to get you Steph doing a Michael Jackson impression. Yeah. We're going to get that for you. Bring that to you guys.
I don't want to take all the shine. I want to make sure the filmmakers get the shine because this is about them. But what was the point? Yeah, the point was that.
Yeah, what was the point?
This movie kind of was like that, where starts off one way, and then before you know it, they're looking like crazy creatures and stuff. It's kind of like Thriller, like I said, kind of having that horror spin, like in Get Out. So it really was a great movie, and some of the things I liked a lot was the time lapse. I thought that was a cool sequence going from day to night with the. So they did a great job with some transitions to kind of really demonstrate nighttime and things. So there's only one thing that bothered me a little bit, and we talked about it before we watched it. And maybe, like you were right, maybe it was his, he was cross-eyed possibly, but it looked like he wasn't really looking. There was a part where it looked like he wasn't looking at the actor when you did the over the shoulder. So
He could have an eye
and
stick.
it could have been cross-eyed or something.
Cross-eyed,
But other than that, though, I thought it was great. Though I mean, everything.
We love cross-eyed people too.
Yeah,
I'm cross-eyed a little bit myself. So
and if you are, you should be able to still get a role as an actor though, and not be discriminated against. Though,
no, it shouldn't be.
People are like, oh, well, he's not looking at the actor. Like I'm complaining about right now. He's not looking at the actor. Like,
if you got a real eye problem, you're not, and the camera's here, you're talking to your character here, and the camera, you should be talking to the camera, then that's not good. You got a serious eye problem.
So you wouldn't hire an actor that's looking like that then?
Well, if you're supposed to be looking at the camera and you're looking over here, no, I would not hire that person.
You said get behind the camera to go do some production work? Then?
I don't know if I want them behind the camera neither. Cause
not behind the camera like that. I mean, like behind the camera, like crew, like maybe production assistant.
Oh, yeah, maybe something like that. Yeah. Well, once again,
some sticks and stuff, grab some things, camera around.
Well, I would hire them, because I don't want a bunch of emails saying,
like he's discriminating.
Yeah, he's discriminating against cross-eyed people. No, I'm cross-eyed myself, so that's a true fact. I do have astigmatism in one of my eyes, and sometimes I can, do one of those. Or
at least that's what you claim when you're looking at other girls when you're with your wife and stuff.
Anyway, moving on to the next one we have lined up for you guys.
I was not looking at her, I swear.
It does come in handy. I can look here and have the other eye go here. Get two jollies in one time. But it's nothing wrong with the character who's looking at the other character, the cop. When he was talking with him, it's just kind of hard to determine who he's looking at, who he was talking to. I didn't notice it. I didn't pick it up, maybe because my eye was looking at the wrong thing. But Steph here picked it up. He saw it. He brought it to my attention.
I did.
And when I looked at it, I'm not seeing it. He said, well, look again. I'm looking at it again. I'm like, oh, okay. He is kind of looking at an angle. But I said, I think his eye is looking at an angle. His face is looking forward, but his eye seems to be looking somewhere else.
Yeah, and it's not really about a filmmaker not being good at their craft. You can grab any Hollywood movie with $1 million budget, $50 million budget,
Star Wars
$1 billion budget.
The first one, the first Star Wars had a lot of films.
Yeah, had a lot of have these little things, continuity errors and things like that. It's almost inevitable. I mean,
you're going to have them, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you're creating a new world that. Through your film, really, and that's what I love about filmmaking the most. Really, it's like you're creating an actual world for people to view and watch. And things.
Did you know in the first Star Wars film when he was flying through the little city, whatever, he was flying through the little channel K, whatever, this with the F-Flight wings, flight fighter, whatever the heck that thing is called. It was flying in between the valleys on the planet or whatever. Mm-hmm. Actually, that scene was filmed outside in the film studio parking lot. And if you look real closely, real quick, you'll see that the edge. The whole film was built on a platform with the little stage and all of the models and all that kind of stuff. And I'm getting to a point, so bear with me here. So, but as the camera was going down, the platform kind of ended at a certain spot, and the camera picked up on the end of the platform, and what you see is a parking lot. Now, but the scene is so quickly shot, you won't even see it as you freeze frame the actual scene. And where that's at, I don't know, but I saw one day in a clip years ago, and they've been talking about it every so often. But like you were saying, even the best of films, you're going to have some of the worst mistakes. So, what did you think about this film that we?
But yeah, solid film, great, man, and I love the fact that it was about something going on. Yeah. I'm really big on social issues and things, especially stuff like this. So I thought that was great. First off, and then the spin that he put on there with the the horror was excellent. The last part at the end was really cool. Around where the credits came in, with the guy speaking. I'm not sure who that was, but I would like to find out more about who that was speaking. And what they were saying was great.
Oh yeah, I'm glad you brought that up.
That was very cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, lots of great stuff. I mean, I thought this was really cool.
Yeah.
And I really enjoyed the tats. I like those tats there. I'm big about tattoos, obviously.
Yeah.
And both
I like
actors had some pretty cool tats.
Yeah. That's one of the important. I'm glad you brought that. I'm so upset and mad at myself for not bringing that up because I really want to talk about that. The ending of the film, which I won't give too much away, but you just have to watch the ending of the film. I thought that was a very nice touch, a very good, part added to the film. I thought that whole ending scene, that it was only maybe about a minute long, something like that. I thought that was really nice, a really nice touch. And I kind of sat there and I watched it, and I'm like, oh, okay, that was really nice. So kudos to you, applause to you. Very nice touch to the end of the film, and I think that really helped the film a great deal.
Absolutely. Yep.
But overall, I thought the film was great. A wonderful film. Very nice film to watch. We enjoyed it. I'm sure you out there will like to watch it and enjoy it too. Give your comments and your reports and any information you have that you can find to feed onto this film. It'd be great. And that's the bad. I should have kept my mouth shut when it was Indy. But let's not forget about the new sponsor we have now.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, a new sponsor we have. The guy who designed this and did this background set for us is Insignia Graphic Studios, who donated this step for us as a sponsorship. And he's going to be working with us now, sponsoring a lot of our shows for us. And thanks to him, Insignia Graphic, which there's a logo on there somewhere around the screen here somewhere. I'm sure you see that pop up. You can go check out his site and his Facebook information. If you need a background logo such as this, contact them. They'd be happy to hook one up for you.
Filmmakers, submit your films. We're always looking for new films. They keep pouring in. I mean, it's hard to keep up, but we're thankful that you keep submitting them, though, and don't stop, right? We'll just keep hiring more and more people to help us staff this stuff so that we can watch all these films and put these videos out here for you guys and check them out. So, of course, indie film screenings. We got our Facebook. You can email us through Gmail, indie film screenings. You can send us a tweet nowadays.
Yeah,
we're on Twitter.
Please tweet us.
We're not on Instagram yet, but we probably will.
I don't understand Instagram. I don't do Instagram.
Yeah. We can get maybe someone, crew, staff, somebody can help out with that.
He can do it.
So yeah, maybe you ain't doing much, just standing there anyway. Start put some Instagram stuff out there, some pictures and stuff. I mean, what's going on? But yeah, thanks. We appreciate you, and we'll see you next time.
Adios.